I think this is toast. Look, the end of that stem looks like that's been twisted off already. Someone was trying to open that and they sheared it off. So this might just be a parts carb. Guys, thank you for joining me another week. This video today is going to be kind of a fun one. We're going to be opening up a crate that was given to us from one of my dad's friends. He said, hey, I've collected a bunch of parts over the years that I don't need anymore. You guys can have them. So he gave us this crate. It's closed. I do not know what's inside of it yet. So we're going to open it up. We're going to look inside there and see if there's anything that's useful or if it's all just kind of junk. So let's go take a look. Okay. Here is the crate. Before we open it, let me grab my tripod here. Okay, I think that's probably a good view for the camera. Let's open this up. Okay. Push it over here. Oh, you guys can't see very well, can you? There you go. You can see down in there now. Okay, what do we got? A big old... This is from a case. Yep. Magneto from a case. It doesn't look like it's... Well, that's weird. I don't know if that's how that's supposed to be. I'm not familiar with case magnetos. So anyway, we have a case magneto. We have my favorite magneto. This is a Wyco Model XH. And we have a cap. That's great. That right there is a great find. It's dirty inside, but we can get that cleaned up. And I have parts. Maybe we'll get this thing, see if we can get this magneto running here at the end of this video. So that's great. This will definitely be used. We got a whole bunch of carburetors. What is this? This is off of, what's the number on this? This looks like it's backwards. Because typically, on I'm familiar with Model A's and B's and G carburetors, but this one is backwards because your choke is on the right side and your throttle is on the left side. This might be, what's the number on it? DLTX. Let me get some Scotch-Brite. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm hoping you can see that on the screen. I don't know if you can, but this says, I hit that with some Scotch-Brite, and it says DLTX model 63. The stamp is a little bit off of this boss, but it's a 63. And I looked in my manual right here. The DLTX Model 63 is for a Model D. Looks like it's a late Model D. So that's why it seems like it's backwards, because it's from a D, and I'm just not used to that. Man, that is rusty though. Can you see that down inside there? Ooh. This might be gone. So anyway, but we've got a carburetor. We've got some other John Deere carburetors. This is what I was talking about. You look at this carburetor. So this one has the choke here on the on the left-hand side. And this is a model, probably 53. Yeah, model 53. So this is for an A, like a mid-series A. But you can see how the A carburetor here, the choke is on the left and the throttle is on the right. And the D carburetor, the choke is on the right and the throttle is on the left. I'm just not familiar with the D carburetor, so I apologize. I probably sound like a fool. But yeah, so we've got an A carburetor. This one's not bad. This is definitely rebuildable. Maybe we'll rebuild this too. We got another. This is for a B. You can see, what in the world is that? It's just junk down in there. This is for a B. You can see how small the diameter is. Let's see what the number is. Let me get something and scrape away that grime. What in the world? I think it's a 61 or 67. Let's look in the book. Okay, so here is the manual again. So for a B DLTX 67, it's for a gasoline, late model B gasoline. So that's what that is probably. We'll have to clean this up. It's very, very grimy. We've got a couple of float bowls with floats in them. There's one. Here's another one. Dusty and rusty, but so we've got 3 complete carburetors. That's a major score. This, if you've watched some of my other videos, you know what this is. This is a plug that goes in your power troll unit, and this is the cap that goes on it to keep it clean. So with this plug in, then you can operate your 3-point hitch. But if you want to operate your lift cylinder, you take your plugs out and you put your other, it's not a plug, but your other kind of through plug with your hydraulic hose that comes out the end. Anyway, I learned a little bit about those a couple months ago. So that's great. We got that. Just one of them, it looks like. This is definitely part of an intake, but I'm not familiar with what this is from. I'll have to do a little bit of reading on this. This is just looks like the carburetor off of a lawnmower. That's probably just scrap. Got a couple of good heavy-duty pins. That's not a bad find. Another one. Those will definitely be nice. This looks like something on the intake maybe from a B or something. I'm not sure. Oh, here's a part number. B2371R. So I would guess that that's probably intake of some sort, but not positive. This is a throttle lever. Goes down inside of your carburetor. So that's a keeper. An eye bolt. You never know when you might need one of those. Oh, look at this. And a broken throttle or shutter control lever. I've never seen one just sitting around, but I've seen lots of them that have been brazed back into place. Anyway, you got a spark. Oh, that's definitely nice. They've got the nut that goes on the bottom of your carburetor. Then we've got a spark plug. A Champion UD16. Maybe some life still left in that. Oh yes, this is a top pocket find right here. Look at that tiny little wrench. Then we've got a carburetor bolt and another bolt. What is that, 3/8? That is not bad. A lot of good stuff. I think I am probably most excited about, I think it's probably this Model XH carburetor, or excuse me, Magneto. That's great. I got a cap to go with it. So we'll clean this up and we'll get this going. Is it frozen? Oh, it's a little bit, can you hear that? But it's a little bit crunchy in there, but we'll get this cleaned up. And then we got we got 3 really good carburetors. Well, 2 really good carburetors. This Model B carburetor, like I said, and this Model A carburetor. Those are good. I'm just looking at the threads on the end. Once we get it all cleaned up, we'll have a better look at those. That doesn't look bad. That was that Model 53 carburetor. Oh, this is this one from the B. It is not as good. Looks like some of the threads are missing or worn away, but we'll find out once we get it cleaned up. And then I think this is toast. Look, the end of that stem looks like that's been twisted off already. Someone was trying to open that and they sheared it off. So this might just be a parts carb. And then we'll have a little look at this case Magneto too. Maybe not in this video, maybe that'll be another video. And if someone needs a case Magneto, we'll see if we can get this thing going. And then if someone needs a case Magneto for all those case people that follow me, they could probably have this if they pay shipping. So anyway, let's see if we can get this Model XH carburetor to run. Okay, here it is. Let's get this thing broken down and cleaned up and see if we can bring it back from the dead. Actually ended up cleaning up really pretty nicely. This is still a little bit dingy looking, but we can clean that up further. But what I want to do now is see if I can renew these points. And I don't know if this condenser is still going to be good, but we can try. My plan is to put everything back together and just test it and see if it's got spark. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then we can put a new condenser and some new points in it, and I've even got an extra coil if needed. So let's go ahead and repopulate the points and condenser and everything, and also the coil. These points are actually pretty decent, but you can tell that they are used. I'm going to use, rather than a little points file like that, I like to just use a razor blade and scrape any sort of corrosion or grime off of the point surface. And that does a pretty good job for me. And it keeps them really smooth. You want these as polished as you can have them. You can tell that there is a little bit of pitting right there. But we'll try them out. I don't know if you can see the grime that comes off of them right there. I mean, it's not a lot, but any sort of corrosion is not going to let them conduct electricity like they should. Okay, we'll try those. I don't know It might be worn a little too much, but I'm hopeful. That's the thicker one. Okay, now I should have the contacts of the points lined up with each other. See? They're right lined up with each other. Okay. Oh, we gotta get that condenser on. That's a pretty cool old condenser. Wyco X5514. It's all copper colored. I'll be surprised if it's still good, but you never know. Oh, that tight, a little too tight already. A tiny cotter pin. Okay, that's done. Let me get my feeler gauges. It's on the money. Okay. Let's put this cap. Oh, it is not uncommon for me to forget to put the rotor on, and then when I am testing it, I'm like, what the heck? There's no spark at all. Well, it's just because I'm an idiot. Okay, starting this up. Okay. We're going to be running off of these two spark gaps, or terminals on my spark gap. Before we do anything, let's just spin it over by hand and see if the impulse gives any spark. Right here and right here. There we go. Did you see that? That's pretty good. Now let's watch here. Look at that. It's crazy. An old Magneto, filthy dirty, coming out of a box. Those old points, that old condenser, everything still works. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week's video. It was fun just to see what we had, what sort of treasures we had sitting inside the box. And it was also nice to be able to see that we got that Magneto going again. So if you think you would like to see me digging into one of those carburetors, possibly even doing like a carnage assessment on that Model D carburetor, drop that in the comments down below, because if there's interest in that stuff, I mean, I'm going to be doing the work anyway, and so if there's interest in it, I can go ahead and I can get my camera running and make a video of that. Otherwise, I'll probably just do that on my own time. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, you guys, and as always, I will see you next week with another video.